what's the key to going into a game like this and making sure that you take care of business while also kind of taking that next step as you guys grow together as a team and figure things out on the court against a lot of them?
Focusing on the fundamentals of our offense and on our defense. If we stick to us and do what we know to do well, then we should come out on top. We just can't make it about any other team. Just kind of just focus on what we do well and focus on what we need to work on, and then try to do the best we can on the game.
When Coach talks about guys getting away from themselves a little bit, like especially in the early parts of that exhibition game, he said maybe there's a little bit of that going on. What does he mean by that when you guys maybe we talk about players trying to do too much once the games get for real as opposed to what they were doing in practice?
Yeah, I think we have a really unselfish group. I think sometimes for us, people are so excited to play someone new and get out there on the floor that you try and play overly do things or maybe overhandle a little bit and not stick to the small things and fundamentals like Brice touched on. And I think for us, really trusting in our defense and our scheme and what we do, getting back and rebounding, especially with this team coming up that shoots really well and pushes in transition, I think it is key for us.
How has it helped in the preseason playing with a lot of different lineup combinations, that experimentation? How does that help getting comfortable with a large group of new guys?
Shows how versatile we are. It gives us confidence when we go against teams that may throw something different at us, and also it just helps us just develop. I mean, we're going to see a whole lot of different defensive lineups in the game, offensive lineups in the game, a whole bunch of different sets. So it's nice to know that we have a well-diverse team who can do a lot of different things and are dangerous from a lot of places on the court.
What do you think, Grant? What did you take away from dealing with the pressure that Grand Valley State brought in the exhibition, like picking you up full court, that kind of thing? What do you take away from that?
Yeah, I think we had a couple careless turnovers, and I think we let them get us out of our stuff, especially in the first half. And part of that's just first game of the year and kind of getting to know each other in lineups. But I think for us, it's just making the game simple. If they take something away, just next action instead of fighting it so much. And I think we have a lot of guys that can handle the ball and bring it down, especially with like BK playing small ball 5 or the 4. Just being able to hit him and run has been big for us, and just continue to do that.
Yeah, I think it was good for us to have a team early that pressures us like they did. A smaller team, so we knew they were going to pressure us because they can't compete really with our size. But like Rollie said, I think it was good. I think it was the first game. That's why it was a little bit of the jitters. You weren't expected. It was one of our first times being away from our team, playing against somebody different. So I mean, it was a good test, something good to see early.
Rollie, you mentioned trusting your defense, especially when things maybe aren't going the way you want offensively. Over the close scrimmage against Utah in the exhibition, how would you evaluate the defense, and do you think that maybe could be a strength this team can lean on, especially early in the year?
Yeah, I think it could be our strength. We have a lot of length and size. I think one thing we struggled with, I think, was just rebounding. Obviously, if you look at it statistically, I think for us, it's just kind of being like getting 50-50 balls and making sure we're in the right position, and that comes with time. Obviously, we've been working on all year, but with a lot of new guys, just obviously trusting in that system and do what we do and just listen to our coaching.
Coach has mentioned a couple times that this team we're going to play on Monday crashes a lot after shots. I guess against them, but then maybe for the season as a whole, how important is it for the guards to be active in defensive rebounding, make sure you guys finish possessions?
In this league, really around the country, in any league, whoever wins the glass is really going to win the game. So whether it's the bigs crashing, whether it's the forwards crashing, whether it's the guards, we all got to be on our toes. And this game, they're sending all 5 at the glass. So it's going to be a good early test, but it's going to show how tough we are, how bad we want it. And it's going to show if we're going to play with grit throughout the year, but it's really going to set the tone. It's the first game. It's everybody's first look at us, and just sets the tone for the whole season.
They only returned 5 guys from last year's team. How hard is it to kind of see what they even have? I mean, I know you guys have a couple of films to watch, but different lineups and people.
It was easy to see that they can shoot the ball, that they focus on threes. So as long as we guard the 3-point line and find them in transition and shut them down, like we know we can, like we have to other teams in the past, and we'll be fine. But that's really their emphasis, to get threes up, push the ball, and kind of just play basketball, like just play free.
What do do you learn about a team in these first couple weeks of the season that maybe you maybe you're not able to see just in the preseason leading up to things?
I think like other teams, you asking?
Like about yourselves.
About ourselves. I think the first couple games define who you are. Obviously, that can change over the course of the year because teams have injuries or different players step up and continue to grow and get better. And I think we'll be one of those teams as well. But we want to start off on a good note, and I think really just set the tone for our season, who we're going to be and what we're about, being physical and pushing transition, get out and running, those type of things. And I think in the exhibition we had flashes of that, but didn't do it for the whole game. So I think on Monday we're really looking forward to getting out there and showing everyone who we are.
Anything else for players? That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.